Alright, today for arithmetic, we are doing Worktext page 163 and 164. And tonight for homework, you'll do reviews page 161 to 162. We are going to be learning about mixed numbers. So just think about when you mix something together, we're going to be mixing together a whole number and a fraction. That is called a mixed number, when you mix together a whole number and a fraction. So I want you first of all to look at the board, and we're going to compare this with this. Alright, so when you look at this side, you see the whole bar, and then what's your fraction? No. I don't have just one of them up here. I have how many up here?
Two.
So that is how many?
Two. 6.
6. So I'm going to write that. I'm going to write 1 and 2, 6. That's how you would write it. You put your whole number bigger. Right, and then 2, 6 as your fraction. On this side, I have one whole bar, and then I have
4, 6.
4, 6. So this side would be 1 and 4, 6. Now, if we were comparing this side to this side, since they both have one whole, that's the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're comparing it by the fraction. 2, 6 versus 4, 6. So which one is bigger?
4, 6.
4, 6. So you would say 1 and 2, 6 is
less than
1 and 4, 6. Alright? Now I'm going to change it just a tiny bit. Let's get rid of this. And let's go and erase these again because we're rewriting. I'm not going to change it much. I'm just going to take and put this up here. Alright, now on this side, how many whole ones do I have?
2.
2. So what is my whole number?
2.
2. So now I'm going to put 2 for my whole number. What's my fraction?
2, 6.
Still 2, 6. 2 and 2, 6. Over here, what's my whole number?
1.
And what's my fraction?
4, 6.
4, 6. So we still have the same fraction. This time, when you look at the whole number, you already see a difference. So you already know which one's bigger. Which one's bigger?
2.
2 holes is bigger, so you would say 2 and 2, 6 is
Greater
than 1 and 4,
4,
6. So the first thing you want to do is compare the whole number. If the whole number is the same, then you have to compare the fraction. If the whole number is different, then you automatically you don't have to worry about the fraction. You automatically know which one is greater. Okay? Alright, so let's look at the orange section first on your paper. And you see pizzas. So how many whole pizzas do they have? 2. Alright. And then what's the fraction of the pizza that they ate out of?
1/4.
1/4 is left. So 2 and 1/4. On the other side, they have how many whole pizzas? 1. And the fraction of the other is?
3/4.
So we know that 2 and 1/4 is greater than 1 and 3/4. Now look at the one below that. If the whole numbers are the same, then you compare the fractions, which is what I already told you. But they have one whole pizza on both sides, but on the one side they have the fraction as 1/4. On the other side it is 3/4. And so 1 and 1/4 is less than 1 and 3/4. Right, is everybody ready?
Yes.
You understand? So look at the first thing. We're just going to write the whole number. Notice how they have an orange box for your whole number, and then they have a longer orange box with 2 sections for your numerator and your denominator. You guys see that? So you know where to write these.
Yeah.
All right. So if we look at the first one, this is 2 rectangles, right?
Yeah.
But of the one, they colored the whole thing, so that would be your whole number. You're not going to count each individual section. You've got to think of this as a rectangle that they divided into. What's our denominator going to be?
3.
Yes, your denominator is going to be 3. They divided into 3 sections, but they have all of how many?
1.
1. There is one rectangle that they colored the whole thing purple. So that's our whole number, 1. So everybody put 1 where it shows you to put your whole number. Now we're going to make a fraction out of the other rectangle. We already know our denominator is going to be 3. How many pieces did they color out of the one they didn't color all of it?
2.
2. So our fraction is going to be
1/2. 1 and 2
No,
thirds.
our fraction. I'm asking about the fraction now.
2
2/3. So put it together and you make a mixed number of 1 and 2/3. And you do say the word and. In between the whole number and the fraction, you do say the word and. All right, moving over to number 2. This time it's circles. How many circles do you see there?
2.
2. But how many did they color all of it?
1.
Just 1. So what's our whole number going to be?
1.
1. So put a 1 in the whole number section. Now we're going to make a fraction out of the other one. How many pieces did they divide these circles up into?
4.
4. So that's going to be our denominator. Remember your denominator's down. All right. And how many pieces did they color on that circle that they didn't color all of it? 3. So our fraction is going to be 3/4. So our mixed number is 1 and 3/4. Okay? Is there anybody that's not understanding this? Not making sense? Good. All right, go to the next one. This is another rectangle. How many rectangles are there? 3. There are 3. How many rectangles did they color? All of it?
2.
2. So that is our whole number, 2. 2 whole ones were colored. Now, if we look at that last one that they didn't color all of it, how many pieces is it divided up into? 8. So that's going to be our denominator. And then of those 8 pieces, how many did they actually color? 3. So our fraction is,
3/8.
put it together with our whole number, and we have 1, 2 and 3/8. My bad. 2 and 3/8. All right, now we have some triangles. How many triangles do we have?
3.
4.
There are 4. We don't have all of them, but we have 4 total. You guys understand? There are 4 triangles there. How many did they color all of them? 3. So 3 is our whole number because 3 of them, they colored all of it. So 3 whole ones. And then the last one, how much did they color? Just tell me the fraction.
1.
That's not a fraction.
4.
1, 2.
You don't say
4.
1/2. You say 1/2. Guys, we've been doing this for days now. You should know that when you have a 2 as your denominator, then you say 1/2. That is why I asked you that way, because I wanted to know if you remembered that. So I asked you that way to see if you could remember. Okay, so our denominator is 2 because they divided into 2 sections. They've only colored one of those 2 sections, 1/2. So 1/2 is said as 1/2. So our whole number and our fraction together makes a mixed number of 3 and 1/2. Okay, so 3 and 1/2, 1/2. Don't forget that, guys. 1/2 is 1/2. All right, let's move on to the next section. This time, they've already written the numbers for you. We are just deciding, like we did on the board, greater than, less than, or equal to. All right, so let's compare. We see some circles. We see that they have colored a whole number of what for both sides? What's our whole number on both sides? 2. So can we compare by the whole number? No, so we're going to have to look at the fraction. So you look at one side and they colored 1/2. You look at the other side and they colored
1/2.
So it is
Equal.
Very good. That is equal. All right, number 6. All right, the whole number for the first one is
2.
the whole number for the second one is
1.
So we can stop there. We already know which one's bigger. The one that has a whole number of
2.
So that is 2, and let's say it together. 2 and 2/4 is greater than 1 and 3/4. All right, the next one. Whole number is
1.
the other side. The whole number is 2. So we know that one has to be greater, right? So we're going to say 1 and 1/3 is less than 2 and 1/3. All right, now they're going to do it without a picture. Okay, so we look at the number 8. What's the whole number?
1.
On both sides, right?
Yep.
So we can't compare there. So we look at the fraction and we see 2/3, and then we see
1/3.
1/3. Which one's greater?
The one with the 2/3.
2/3. So 1 and 2/3 is
Greater
than 1 and 1/3. Number 9. 3 and 4/5. And then automatically we know what?
3 and 4/5 is greater
Very
than
good.
2 and
A
4/5.
whole number of 3 is going to be greater than a whole number of 2. So 3 and 4/5 is greater than 2 and 4/5. All right, what do you see on the next one? Ones. Both sides has ones. We have to look at the fraction. On one side we see 3, 6. Other side is
4, 6.
which one's greater?
1, 4, 6.
1 and 4, 6. Very good. So 1 and 3, 6 is
Less than
1 and 4,
4,
6.
6.
Go ahead and turn your paper over. All right, this time you have to write the biggest number. So, who wants to do the first one? Joey, what do you see?
2 of them are colored holes.
All right, so our whole number is going to be
2.
2. And what's our fraction going to be for the one that didn't color all of it?
It's going to be 4/3.
You're saying it backwards.
Oh, 3/4.
Yes, 3/4. Did you write it wrong or just say it wrong?
I just said it wrong.
Okay, so you start at the top and say 3/4. 3 is your numerator, that's how many pieces that are colored. Parts selected. Parts selected would be what they colored blue. And then 4 is how many pieces are equal parts of the whole thing. To have the whole thing, you have to have 4 equal parts. All right, so 3/4, 2 and 3/4. Who wants to do the next one? Dane.
Since they have 3 colored in, you have to write 3 in the
Whole number.
whole number
Very good.
and
And the fraction for the last one?
1.
That's not a fraction. Now. 1 what?
1/4.
Very good. No.
No.
That's not right. Sorry. All of the pieces is a denominator. What's all the pieces? No. Don't go back and count the whole ones. You're only looking at the one where they colored part of it.
5.
Okay, you're colored the what? You did colored part over white part. No. The denominator is always all the pieces. Count all the pieces of that one section. The one where they didn't count. Don't go back and count the whole ones. You've already taken care of that. You put a whole number of 3, right?
Mhm.
All right, don't worry about those. Go to the one where they only colored part of it. Count all of them. Don't just count the white pieces. Count even the colored pieces.
6.
6. So what's your denominator?
6.
And what's your numerator?
4.
No. How many pieces do they color in that one?
1.
1. So your whole number is?
6.
No, the whole number. How many do they color all of them?
3.
3. And your fraction is?
6. 1.
1 what? Say it. Where'd you put the 1?
At the bottom.
No.
No.
The denominator is down and the denominator is equal parts of the whole thing. If you have the whole thing, you would have 6 pieces, right? You understand that now, right? To have
1, 6.
There you go. So it's 3 whole ones and 1/6 of the other one. There were 4 total, but you have 3 whole ones. And if you notice, all 3 of those have 6 parts in each of them. To have all of them, you have 6 parts colored. The last one, they have 1 out of the 6 parts colored. So that's 3 and 1/6. Leanna, you want to do the next one? All right, so how many do you got? 5 whole ones, 5 rectangles where they colored the whole entire thing. And what do you have on the last one? 1/2. Very good. They have it divided into 2 sections, so 2 is going to be your denominator, and they've colored one of those 2 sections, so 1/2 is 1/2. So your mixed number would be, everybody, 5 and 1/2. All right, Chase, do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, so 2 triangles are colored and then 1/2.
Very good. So 2 triangles are colored in completely, so there's your whole number. And then the last triangle, they have 1 piece colored out of 2 pieces. There are 2 pieces, so 1/2. 2 and 1/2 is your mixed number. All right, now we're going to compare. All right, so Grant, why don't you tell us about that first one? but you don't want to see that because you need to read it in order. So you're gonna tell me that the 2 in the second number, it makes it be greater because you have a 1 for a whole number and a 2 for a whole number. So that is the one you're gonna gobble up. But how would you read it? You would read it as, everybody, 1 and 1/2 is less than 2 and 1/2. All right, Grace, and you wanna tell us about the next one?
3 and 1/4.
What about it?
3 and 1/4 is greater than 2 and 1/4.
Yeah, so you again, you just get to compare it by the whole number, right? Because 3 is greater than 2. So you can already know that 3 and 1/4 is greater than 2 and 1/4. All right, what about the next one, Hunter?
2 2/3.
2 and, you're gonna say 2 and 2/3, because you're gonna say the whole number, then you're gonna say the word and, then you're gonna say the fraction. 2 and 2/3.
2 and 2/3 is greater than 2 1/3.
2 and 1/3.
2 and 1/3.
All right, so this time the whole number was the same. So you had to look at the fraction, and you knew that 2/3 was greater than 1/3, so 2 and 2/3 is greater than 2 and 1/3. All right, let's just talk the next one through. So if we look at them, we can see what? What is the fraction? Or the mixed number, I should say. 1 and 3/5. What's on the other side? 1 and 3/5. So we know they are equal. Okay, that one was pretty easy. Equal. You with me? All right, the next one. We have 2 and 3/6. And then we have 2 and 5/6. Whole number's the same, so you compare by the fractions. Which one's bigger?
2 and 5/6.
2 and, I asked which one's bigger. So that would be the 5/6. So we would write 2 and 3/6 is less than 2 and 5/6. All right, the next one. Can we compare by the whole number?
Yes.
Yes, because one side has a 3 and one side has a 2. So we can already compare by the whole number. So we're going to write 3 and 3/4 is greater than 2 and 3/4. All right, now we have Megan and some, looks like graham crackers. They just call them crackers. And she gave Aaron 1 and 3/4 crackers. And they actually show you the crackers. Do you see the side that's 1 and 3/4? And then she kept 1 and 1/4. All right, so that means she had 3 crackers, but she broke off one of the pieces and kept it for herself and let her friend have what? More. So you would put 1 and 3/4 is greater than 1 and 1/4. Do you see how if you took that 1/4 and put it back with a 3/4, you would have a whole nother cracker? All right, now I'm going to just do this last section with you to make sure you guys are thinking clearly. It shows a baby and it says ounces or pounds. Now this is a baby that is crawling around. Guys, little babies, if you weigh 5 pounds when you're born, you are considered a sort of a small baby.
Yeah.
My husband actually weighed 9 pounds 11 ounces. He was a very big baby. All right, so when you're born, you already weigh, like I weighed 7 pounds exactly when I was born. All right, so this is not a newborn baby. This is a baby that's crawling around. Okay, so is it going to be 25 ounces?
No.
Because how many ounces are in a pound?
16.
16. And if you know good math, 16 plus 16 is 32. So that's only 2 pounds, 32 ounces. And this says 25 ounces. So that is less than 2 pounds. So do you think a baby that's crawling around is going to be less than 2 pounds? No. A baby that's less than 2 pounds is going to be in the hospital because they're not able to go home from the hospital because they are too tiny.
Yeah.
Okay? So even though 25 seems like a lot, you've got to remember it takes 16 ounces just to equal 1 pound. Right? So think about it that way. How many of you know how much you weighed when you were born? Right, so some of you should be thinking that through. If you don't know, you should ask your parents because it's sort of an interesting fact. All right, let's move on to the dog. A dog, 40 ounces or 40 pounds?
40 pounds.
40 pounds. That looks like some kind of bulldog, an English bulldog, and they are pretty stocky. So, all right, a little bee.
1 ounce.
It would hardly weigh anything. You would probably just feel the tickle of its feet if it landed on you. And then you'd be scared and screaming because you thought it was going to bite you. All right, and the last thing is a little fawn hiding in the grasses.
10 pounds.
10 pounds, okay? They're not too much, but they would be pounds. All right, for homework tonight, let's just look at it. You're going to be doing the same thing that you did today in class, doing mixed numbers and comparing them. On the back, though, you are subtracting and then checking by adding. Remember, you're adding the difference to the subtrahend so that you can get the menu end. Don't forget that that's what you're doing there when you subtract and then you check your work. Then you're subtracting with renaming. Some of this will be with renaming too, and you'll have a story problem, and it is a how many more story problem. So again, it will be with renaming. The work should go here, and don't forget to put your label. It says how many more stamps. What's your label going to be?
More stamps.
More or more stamps.